Okay, my last video is just referring to the part where I started witnessing different beings that were connected with stepping into their full power of being a warrior of light here on Earth at this time, and the ascended of why you were here. So I started witnessing these hybridizing. So for anybody who's watching this is not familiar with what hybridizing is kind of maybe not the nicest word, but it basically means that your cells are evolving, your consciousness is evolving. You are a vessel that is connected to the universe. You are a universe within, and perhaps you are coming from other star nations, and you're bringing that information and aspects of your stuff of other star nations to help evolve humanity and Earth into a more sacred harmonic frequency. I mean, it can be complicated. Don't overthink it. Just kind of sit with that in your heart. Okay, so I witnessed this hybridizing, and it was so amazing to witness all these beings suddenly being so empowered by their cosmic truth of who they truly are. Like these magical, incredible, mystical cosmic beings are true. They're real. You are that wonderful. It's beings such as what you're witnessing these paintings behind me, which I was seeing everybody coming into their true original instructions from Prime Creator. It was just incredible. Now, what happened from here is I noticed there were 12 in particular around Earth who were really showing some skills. Incredible skills, shape-shifting into dragons. Suddenly, boom, beams of light coming out of their hands, telepathically moving things, like extreme psychic cosmic powers. And I was witnessing, and it was a circle of 12, and I was drawn to go into the center, and I became almost like white fire, and I was drawn into all of this 12. Oh, this was powerful and intense. So I'm drawn into this 12. I wrote a little bit down because I was really hoping not to leave anything out. Okay, yes. So I was drawn into this power of 12, and then I started becoming all these circles. I was following, not I was becoming out, they were opening up in the great template, okay? The divine template, the divine matrix of all creation, where we're connected through strings and shape and form and light and patterns. So these patterns of these concentric circles were building and building up to the kingdom of light. And then coming down like rainbows. And they started vortexing with all of this energy, and it was repeating the same pattern of this 12, but repeating it. Say we're on the 3rd dimension, the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension. Though they might seem to be different realities, they're actually layers of coexisting co-realities. So each dimension of that layered reality, this same pattern was occurring. This 12, let me say, masters, with me as this white fire in the middle, were all strung together in this beautiful pattern, in this beautiful web. It was the higher vibration of a star pattern, which is called a stellated dodecahedron, and this is actually the divine cosmic feminine form. Big information. I am 100% feeling like I need to do a video on that, so I will shortly, a few days, few weeks. Okay, so I witnessed this, and I witnessed this pattern, I witnessed this layers, and then it went down into the earth, repeating the same thing, layers and layers of people into the crystal core. Same experience in the crystal core, this white fire energy in the center. But now I saw the crystal skulls. Pardon me. It was almost like they all kind of looked in the center and like were like awake. I mean, I know they're fully active and doing their work and whatnot, but this was a reaction that I witnessed. And then they started vortexing, spinning. They became spheres of this cobalt blue light, this incredible blue light. and repeating the same pattern, and it was just going up and down like this rainbow bridge in these concentric circles, layer upon layer upon layer. Okay, so then from here, continuing with this breathing vacuum vortex, I was brought on to kind of like this dimension just underneath our regular forest dimension, and this is a shamanic dimension. So shamanic is the most ancient hybrids of Earth, the most ancient and first spirit way or life way of beings on Earth. So they were shapeshifters. So I began to be surrounded by like a bear, a lot of dark looking, dark fur animals. And I knew, and then they changed into faces of what looked like humans and different types of hybrid humans, including the ancient ones that we know of with the elongated skulls. They're all in this shamanic realm. And so they were came forward because the crystal skulls were activated, and there were 12 of them as well, and they started integrating in whatever way they were supposed to do. Everybody knew what to do. It was incredible. So now everybody's heart centers started beaming these torus of rainbow light. So every layer of 12 beings, the crystal skulls, the center fire, these shamans, the 144 and 144,000 grids, all started doing these rainbow toruses out of their bodies. They were funneling from the kingdom of light, funneling from the center of Earth, transcending these higher knowledge, this higher information, and torusing in these rainbows. It was incredible. So we're all still experiencing that. This isn't going to go away. Some are experiencing maybe sparks and jolts of light. Some might have racing power thoughts. There's a lot of energy shifts that popped up while doing this. It's going to transcend over time here. So this also makes everything repel. There's things that are about to happen that are creating kind of some interference. They're behind the scenes. These are channeled information. It's kind of like the Earth Warriors of Light are attuned to this information. And this is also because we did the fear detoxifying, which I talked about in the first video of this two-part series here. That new tool plus all of this rainbow light plus hybridizing with your cellular structure from the great kingdoms and the great wisdom of your experience and the multi-layered intergalactic cosmic universes. There's so many words to describe it, just everything. So these are all attuned and activated. So the final piece I was called to do in this activation was, now this is a piece from, pardon me. So this being came forward, and then our brains connected. I see through her eyes and feel through her heart, and we did this together. And I turned into almost this pink plasma spider, and I went back into that center, and then this spider web weaved around Earth and then turned into this pink creationism plasma. This pink creationism plasma is what all matter are formed through and out. It's light language. It's bioorganic material. Thank you. Thank you. As well as light codes and information. It's almost miraculous. It's kind of like the core of what everything is made from and that we don't quite know. It's a plasma, so it has a density to it. What this plasma does, it's almost like a warm bath. It's pink and sparkly, clear and gooey, light and light, marshmallowy, fluffy, liquidy. It's all these things in one, and it's transcending into all of the bodies of everything in Earth. This is a 12-day ceremony. And what this does is its intelligence is so supreme. I don't even have words for it. I don't know if I just sounded like a fool or not. I'm at a loss for words of how magnificent this plasma and this gift is. This is Sophia Christos. This is the Divine Mother Sophia in her plasmic soul form. She takes on many forms through this form, okay? She can shape shift into whatever one needs to see in order to accept their relationship with her, okay? So, this gift from this divine mother, the divine cosmic mother of all creation, Sophia Christos, the female creationism aspect of Christ and prime creationism, has gifted us with this plasma, and it's a 12-day ceremony. It is going to find in your bodies all the nooks and crannies of trauma, past life trauma, ancestral guilt, ancestral shame, fear paradigms, toxins that we've accumulated because of refined sugars, eating the poor precious animals who've been so mistreated, eating that depraved mistreatment of another being for our nourishment. That impacts our bodies. It's gonna find these things so we stop acting out as a disenfranchised nation and start stepping into our power as a community of sisters and brothers. So this is going to heal and pull all of that, and it's going to help the body and cells to clear out all debris so you can transcend new light, new information, and it's a complete purification and a complete renewal. I'm going to be working on this every day for 12 days. I'm going to be doing a lot of heavy duty work. I've also been guided to share art. This is going to take me a couple of days. This is a complex piece. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with everybody. Now, one final piece that happened when this was all done. So that was the part that happened with Earth. Now, this is the part that was a part of my journey afterwards. And I want to share this for if anybody has some knowledge that they can support me in understanding this. I don't want to over intellectualize it. I want to be in my heart space with it, but I think that if you're attuned to have any knowledge of this, it is coming from the heart space. So after all of this happened, oh, pardon me, I found myself again in the North Pole or the Arctic area, and I saw this light coming towards me off in the distance. It got closer and closer and closer, and I looked like, I want to say, a sleigh with dogs in the front, and they looked like snow, the traditional snow sled dogs. It was a snow sled. It was a snow sled. And then I saw a being riding on it that had it was a huge being, and it looked like it was wearing a traditional Eskimo regalia and clothing for warmth. And I heard laughter. I couldn't see a face. I could just see this clothing. It was gray, had beads, and on the body, the beads were kind of glittering and sparkling. It had like some type of fur, white fur all around the face, around the cuffs. It was gray. So they pulled me up onto this sleigh. I felt very safe. This was a loving, incredible, magnificent being. And I was behind them and I hugged them. They were huge. And the skin of the jacket, I believe, felt like seal. And they were very warm, and they were laughing. And oh, I just keep seeing this beautiful, round, laughing face. And we went on with the snow dogs, but we were like in the air. And I could see a lot of, it looked like snow peaks and ice glaciers and things of this nature, and then it was all cloudy, very white, cloudy, and then it separated and I could see a city. So this city looked like different, very intricate and cool ice sculptures. It was not igloos. This was not a traditional Eskimo looking city, even though I was with somebody who was wearing Eskimo clothing. This city looked very intricate and it looked ancient, and I started seeing beings with white hair and blue eyes walking around, and this reminded me of another journey I had another time, so I was familiar with these beings. Then I could see peaks of gold at the top of the structures and little gold bridges and DNA strings floating up. So we went further and further in the city, and the structures dissipated into clouds, almost like the tones and highlights and shadows that created the illusion of a square. Like you would see the different tones and colors when I got closer, molded into swirls of colors as opposed to a specific structure. Then I started swirling around and around, and I swirled into, it looked like a room, a circular room, and it was very small, and there was a something in the center with a piece on top of it. Now I went to go and reach forward. They said, this is for you. And so I went to reach forward, and it looked like silver or white, like kind of white silver. It looked like two feathers on like a ring. And so I put it on my head, and these two silver feathers shot out this way. And so they're told to take that with you. This is one of your tools. This is a part of your life. This is a part of your destiny. And then from here, I saw a person came out also on a sled. The one on the Eskimo sled was gone by now, by the way. They just dropped me off and took off. So now this other person came, and they were a tall, it looked like a white man, but very, very tall. Maybe kind of like a white toga, white hair, white beard, piercing huge blue eyes, incredibly blue eyes, maybe like 7 feet tall. And they were riding on, it was very interesting. It looked like a white dragon, but a very wide face, and the mouth was open and kind of like smiling, but then it almost kind of looked like an owl. And a magic carpet. It was kind of flat, like a carpet. So he said something to me, and it's failing in my memory right now. Perhaps it's not meant for me to share. And he said a few things, and he laughed, and then he went into the Fibonacci spiral, boom, turned into this great white owl, and then the magic carpet dragon went one way, and then he went one way. And then I came back into my senses, into my now. And from there, I was just absolutely starving. I got out of the bath. I pulled my strings out of everybody. I smudged. I did my oming to bring the light codes and this journey to an end so I could be more present. I got out of the bath, got on my jammies, and went to bed. All morning, I've been racking my brain of how to share this, and I hope my sacred storytelling was at the least enjoyable. And light workers unite, monks unite, shamans unite, galactic beings unite, star nations unite, earth keepers unite. We are going to make sure that none of the terrible predictions and visions that are underlying a lot of what we're co-experiencing don't go that far. So we are working hard together, and we're going to keep this up. This is a 12-day ceremony. The whole planet is in this, and I will be continuing to work on this ceremony and giving any feedback I meant to give during the process. Okay, love and light, everybody. And if anybody has anything to share of their experiences with this, I would love to hear it. If anybody has anything to share, wisdom or insight of my experiences, I would love to hear it. And these earrings are handmade by a beautiful medicine woman. She's from Colombia, but I believe she has Inca ancestors, and she does this traditional beading with a twist. These look like rainbow wings, and you put them together and they're a heart. I absolutely love them. They're hand beaded. She does custom ones to your frequency. She channels what's divine for you. Her name is Maria, and if anybody is interested in wearing sacred, beautiful, custom jewelry, hand beaded by this lovely woman, let me know, and I will forward you her email. I don't have it off the top of my head, or I would add it in this moment. Okay, love and light in everybody, and I look forward to transmuting, transcending, ascending, and harmonizing with all of you.